time when I first met my foster dad, I thought, doesn't he even feel like sorry for me or anything? I thought there'd be all kinds of whimpering and whining and pity. Not once. Not once did we ever even really talk about it to any extent. He gave me something to do. He gave me a purpose. Unfortunately, if you've been through some of these things that I've been through, and some of these people in this room have been through, it's not always going to end up in a nice, neat, little tidy wrapper where you have all kinds of clinical things happen like closure and resolution and all of this and all that. It's not always going to be that way. Sometimes you just have to move on. Learn from what you can from what's happened. But you can't be in two places at once. Either you're back there in the past where something has happened, or you're living in the moment right now. Well, horses have taught me, they live in the moment. It's amazing how resilient they are, what they can get by, recover from, and end up functional, happy, and not hold it against you. So, those were lessons that I learned through working with the horses. And they, believe me, they were my refuge when I went to live with Forrest and Betsy. They were the only friends I had. Only because I had been so betrayed by human beings that I really didn't want anything to do with them because all it had ever done is cause me trouble. So I stopped talking. I didn't talk to anybody. That's what really makes me laugh when I do these guys. And now all year long I talk for a living. Good enough. But through living with Forrest and Betsy, I learned that they needed to give me some responsibility. And I've often thought that it would be so handy for kids that had been through a lot of trouble in their life if they could just all be on a ranch like I was. Because, you see, there are a lot of foster parents who are really great people that love kids that don't have that to offer them. They might live in the city. They would love to have a ranch and a garden or horses or cattle, but they don't. All they have to offer is love. Well, that's why I found this sort of interesting, is that this sort of fills in that gap, that they get to have horses. They get to do some of the very same things that I got to on a ranch in the middle of Montana. And it sort of completes what I really think is necessary to help kids. And the cool thing about it is the horses that end up in this program, they're getting the same things I got. A purpose, a job, something to do, a reason for being there. So everybody lives. And how do you beat that? It's the neatest thing.